Welcome to another edition of Shabbat Lounge. Today, as I'm driving around, I can't help but think of Luke 12. In Luke chapter 12, about verse 23, Yeshua says, "For life is more than food, and the body is more than clothing. Think about the ravens. Neither do they plant, nor do they harvest. They have neither storerooms nor barns, yet Yahuwah feeds them. You're worth far more than the birds. Can any of you by worrying add an hour to his life?" And that's kind of my theme today. You know, I've been driving around today and at work. Just as you know, sometimes there are problems that arise at work. There are people that you work with that they have bad days. There are also people that, handle those bad days and handle stress differently, as do I, as do we all. But I always want to handle my coworkers with grace and forgiveness. I want to be able to give them, room to mess up and fail, because we are human. We are going to mess up. We are going to make a mistake. It happens. And we can't get too worried about those things and bent out of shape and take it out on other people and berate them by it. So I expect the same thing in return. I expect that people are also going to be gracious to me when things don't work out maybe just as planned or perfectly, because let's face it, this life is kind of messy, and the best made plans, sometimes it just doesn't work out the way we want to. Even when we planned and prepared and we've measured twice and we cut once and we've done all the things we're supposed to do that are, sometimes there are unforeseen circumstances, and sometimes it just works out that way. But in reality, I am reminded, and I think we all have to remind ourselves at the end of the day, be thankful for what we have. Be thankful for the roof over our head. But even before that, be thankful that you got up this morning, that you woke up, that you are still breathing, still kicking, still going. And that you got your family, you got people, someone in your life that supports you and helps you and loves you along the way. But most important, you have the Father, and He's got you. He loves you dearly, and He says it clearly there in that passage. That we get so hung up, and everyone makes fun of the first world problem thing. It's kind of a joke with me for a long time. I would say, first world problem. But in reality, so many of the problems that we complain about, that we're upset by, they're first world problems. They're really not that big of a deal. So many of them are luxury items that we whine about or worry about or get upset by. But it's important to prioritize and learn to be upset by the things that should make us upset. There's so many little things that happen in life every day that just really aren't that big of a deal. But how many of us spend a tremendous amount of time upset and worried about the minor details, when all the while we have a world all around us going up in flames, from family members to people we work with. The world is crazy, and you see these crazy stories that people are doing and thinking and saying and teaching their children, and sometimes you wake up and you go, what has happened to the world? Well, unfortunately, the enemy of this world is in control. And I encourage you to not worry about those little details, and not worry about these little things, but put our faith and our hope in us, in the one who really is in control. The enemy thinks he's in control, and he is. He does have a lot of power, but his time is coming to an end, and his time will end. And and I look forward to that day. And I also encourage you to be salt, to be light to those around you, and show them kindness, show them grace, show them mercy, show them forgiveness. Even when you really don't want to do it. Even when you think they don't deserve it. They've made you mad. Even when they don't do it back to you. It's tough. It's tough. But I think that I owe that to the people I work with. I believe that's in the Scriptures. That's what we're asked to do. So as always, I ask you to search your Scriptures. Read them diligently. And thanks for listening to Shabbat Lounge.